Hello again, guys. This is Kevin from Spirit of Twilight. Today we're going to be wrapping a Mahogany Obsidian. Now, this actually looks very similar to me to a tiger's eye, but it has a beautiful, beautiful sheen on it compared to a red tiger's eye. But this is called, again, a Mahogany Obsidian, and I handpicked this in one of the shops that I go to, which is from an ethical source up in Cassadaga, Florida, which is about an hour from my home. And today I'm going to also be using rock hopper. And the reason why I'm using rock hopper is just because it looks so pretty against the stone. It just looks so, so nice with this golden hue and the red hue. So I'm actually using an 18 gauge copper wire. And this is a 22 gauge a copper wire as well to make this design. Now, this design I'm going to be doing a little bit differently compared to what I normally do. And this one also takes a lot of time to finish because there's going to be a basket weave all the way around the stone, and then the bail will come up here. So this is going to be very intricate. I'm actually going to take one more piece of copper wire for my base really fast. I'm gonna give it 4 because I feel like this piece to me is going to be special. So I haven't made one of these in a while, and they sell fairly quickly when I do have the opportunity to sell them either in person or online, but they take a very long time. So they're not exactly beginner friendly, but again, they do sell very well because they're very intricate and very modern looking, very clean. So I'm going to start off this by wrapping this 3 times around a single wire, okay? And I do have a tail left over. So I'm going to wrap that around. Then we're going to take my second wire, and I'm going to move the stone out of the way because knowing me, I'm going to knock it off the table. Then I got to go look for it. Okay, so wrap the one, and we're going to wrap the 2 together. Okay. In a formation of 3. And as you may or may not know, I am known for wrapping most of my jewelry in numbers of 3, 6, and 9. And that is because most of my clientele comes from a pagan or magical community, and those numbers resonate with them. So I do that for this purpose and for this reason. So take number 3, again starting on the bottom, and wrapping all 3 together. Go. And this copper wire is really hard to work with because the wrapping wire is so long at this point just starting off. Then I'm going to take my 4th wire and do the exact same thing. Make sure it's lined up, in place, and wrap all 4 of these around each other. Three times. There we go. Okay, so now you can actually see the beginning of what I'm doing. But now I'm going to change things up a little bit. I'm going to straighten out my wires here because they're getting a little mangled. Okay, and I'm going to take the single top wire and wrap that 3 times. So I'm changing up my pattern a little bit. It's kind of a mirror, if you would. 2, 3, and again, this can become very strenuous on the hand that you're holding everything with because all you're doing is holding, so your nerves might get a little pinched. You can see the indentions of my fingers already, so you just want to be very careful. And if you need to take a break, by all means. So same thing, we're going to take this wire And we're going to wrap the first two, starting with the top, just like I did before. And these are both round wires, so they are easier to work with, in my opinion. If you prefer a half round or a square wire, go for it. I like square wires, but I don't use them all the time for every project. Okay, so now we're going to do wire number 3. Two. 3. And then we're just going to wrap them all together. 2, 3. Okay, and again, you want to keep these wires as flat as you possibly can, just so when you're finished, you can see the design and the beauty of what you're actually doing. My camera's going to focus there. There it goes. So you can actually now see a part of the design that I'm actually working with. Okay. So at this point, I have every everything done. The pattern is completed 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Now at this point, I'm going to go ahead and measure it up against the stone. I want to see if it's actually going to work around the stone. So I'm going to bend this. Like so. Should be very careful. Okay, that's actually good. So I'm going to stop here. And I'm going to bend these wires out on an angle. With my protective pliers. Like so. Okay. And I am going to place my ending on top of the other. And the reason why I'm doing that, just drop this little tail, the one we started off with really fast. There we go. Okay, so I want to get this just beyond the other set of wires. Excuse me. And the reason why I want to do that is because I'm going to bend these wires around the other ones. and try to keep these as flat as I can. So once you have the first one wrapped, and you bend this, you should be able to move it in place with your fingers. If not, just go ahead and press them in, okay? And we're going to, for safety reasons, going to cover that part up. And then you want to bend this out a little bit more, just so you can see how it fits around your stone, like that, okay? We're going closer to the camera. There we go. So it fits more along the lines around the stone. So we'll take our stone back out. Now this stone is going to be woven into the setting from the back side. So more than likely this is not going to become a pendant that somebody is going to wear from the front or the back side. It's just going to be from the front side. Okay, and also we want to make sure we cover up these wires because they are quite sharp, and I tangled my wires. How about that? All right, let's see. Take this out of here. There we go. That wasn't so bad. Take this, and we're going to smooth these out. There we go. Okay, now this was our tail. I'm going to wrap this around a couple times on the hole. Okay, and we're going to make our bail. Now, my bail for this one, I should be calling this an infinity type of pendant because you can see the bottom portion here with the top portion is going to go like that. So it's going to look like an infinity symbol. So all I'm going to do with this is simply wrap this around the entire 4 pieces of exoskeleton wire, if you want to call it that. Again, your base wire, whatever you like to call it. Go. And I'm going to continue this for a few minutes, so if I speed up the video, don't mind me. I just want to get this out of the way because I'm not doing any intricate type of weaving. I'm just going around. And I've seen one video, another YouTuber who takes their pendant, holds it up, and swings it around in the air to get this shape all the way around the wires, and I would poke my eyes out. She swings it above her head, and I'm like, no, I will do damage to my eyes or something else for that matter. Excuse me. So I'm just wrapping this around really quickly to get it out of the way. Oops, create an overlap. Let me fix that. That happens sometimes. Okay. That should be enough for a bail. Okay. So let's pull that tail out. And then we'll make our bail. Try to get this way. Now you can see the infinity symbol. Okay. With the pendant itself. So I'm going to twist that out a little bit. Okay. And then I have the wires back here are covering those sharp wires. So that's what we wanted to start off with. And I'm going to take these and twist them to the front. Okay. Now, this is where you can start designing right off the bat. You don't have to have your stone in there for this. Okay. So I'm going to take these and I'm going to separate them a little bit. I'm going to pull this through. Like that, and then pull it back to the back side. And take another wire. And I'm going to do something different. I'm going to take this one. And I'm going to make a little loop. And then line it up right next to the other wire like that. And then I'm going to take this and put it through. There we go. Make sure that's secure and in place. Then these other two, I'm going to take them and go in front of the pendant. Like that. Then cross over those other two wires. And go in this way. So I'm not going crazy with the design like I could, because there's a lot of wire here. And I really could go absolutely berserk if I wanted to, making this look very intricate, very detailed, but I don't want to do that. I want to give it a very clean, modern appearance, something that somebody could wear casually, or they could wear it with a dress or a gown or something more intricate that somebody might buy even to use at their wedding, per se. Okay, so I have that done, so that's all cleared off. So these bottom wires here, excuse me, I'm going to keep those intact. This one, I'm going to cut these two. I don't need them anymore. I cut way too much wire for this particular project. So let's go ahead and cut these off. And we're going to cut them so I can tuck them into the back of the pendant here. So we're just going to press down so they lay flat. And if they don't, like they're not doing, as I thought they would, I'm going to curl them and tuck them underneath the actual pendant base itself. There we go. Okay. So now I can put my stone in. And my stone actually has a place to rest. Right here in the back from those other two wires. Now, let me just make sure I put side of the stone. Yes. Okay. There we go. Okay. So we're going to put the stone in. And then these two wires, because they're very large, good, not dead soft wire, I'm going to go ahead and put one here. Then go around to the front. And there's a little gap in between the stone and the pendant now. So I'm just going to use that little gap to push this wire through and then pull it tight. Okay, so that's holding a portion of the stone. You can see the very bottom. Okay, so I'm going to take this wire, and again, since this is a sturdy wire, I'm going to do another loop in the back. Okay, like this. And then I'm going to do the same thing, is bring it around. Okay, this way. And again, tuck it between the opening of the stone and the actual setting itself. A little closer. Like so. That did not sit exactly the way I wanted it to. That's okay, we can fix it. So let's move the stone up where it's supposed to be. There we go. Move that up where it's supposed to be and pull that again. Okay, so now I still have this tail. And there's a reason why I still have the tail is because now I could use that loop to secure the tail from the back. And also that'll help the stone from falling out. So I'm going to take the tail and go through the loop that I made. Like so. And then we're going to go through it again to secure that side. Like that. Pull it tight. And then I'm going to take this, because this is the center wire, you can't really see that much of it. I'm putting it in between the actual spaces of where the wires were woven together. Okay, and I'm going to lay that flat as I can against the rest of the design. Okay, so that is attached to the front. So now what I want to do is end this wire. So I'm going to take it again through the loop. And I'm going to weave it in a couple times. Again, if you notice, I'm using my finger to keep the wire flat as I pull it through so there's no kinks. Because those kinks at this point can cause kind of like a tear in the wire, if you would. And that tear brushing up somebody's skin or against somebody's skin is not going to feel good to a client. So, okay, I've wrapped that through 3 times, so that should be very secure. So I'm going to clip that really quickly. And then I'm going to tuck it underneath the loop. And it's behind the stone. So now nobody can they can't get hurt by that wire anymore. Okay. And then I'm going to take these 2 wires that I have over here, and I'm just going to make sure first that my stone is set the way I want it to be. Really fast. And then I'm going to cut these a little bit shorter so I can put them in place by making spirals. So I'm just going to make a spiral here with this short little wire. And this is adding some pressure on this side of the pendant, and that's holding the stone. Okay? Same thing with this one. A little spiral. I'm going to hold this one in place, bottom, because that's the one that I'm actually twisting right now. Make that spiral. Push it in place, and there we go. Okay, so I noticed that this one is a little loose, so I'm going to tighten this manually down here, and I'll tighten this one as well, just for safety and measure. And that's our pendant. There we go. a beautiful mahogany obsidian pendant. Will be available on my website, spiritedtwilight.com, or you can also find it on Amazon. It's very intricate, very nice, really pretty. And I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.